Yeah, I like the Reverend Caudell to know I don't normally sweat during prayers like that. It's usually just a light perspiration. Obviously, Governor Lee is not here with us. He is attending his wife's treatments, and she hard to do so. I know he's in our hearts and he's in our thoughts, and Commissioner, please pass that along. We're praying for him. He is right where he needs to be right now. So with that, though, we still do want to celebrate this great news for Hawkins County. I am Clay Walker. I'm CEO of Networks Southern Partnership. We do economic development for Southern County. We market and recruit for Hawkins County, particularly Phipps Bend. So I'm just going to kind of kick this off. I wanted, before I turn it over to Commissioner, I want to thank just the local team on the ground. They do so much great work. I'm proud to work with them every day. Thank you. They missed the best part. Y'all should have heard the first part. But Lynn Doley and Nathan Woods from ECD, Commissioner, they are always right there for us. You got a great team there. Tim Tidwell with TVA is here. And of course, Rebecca Baker with HCIDB, Chairman Larry Elkins, and the entire board, the County Commission. Networks, our Economic Development Director is Michael Parker. So I guess that's about it from the local people. Oh, wait a minute. No. Ronnie Price. Thank you, Ronnie. Ronnie was the lead on this project. And once we got like 3 steps into it, I just said, what am I doing? Let Ronnie do what Ronnie does. So good job with that, Ronnie. New to the job, he's been up here 3 times already in 5-6 weeks on the job. This is my 4th time to have the pleasure of being in his company. Our new Commissioner of Economic and Community Development for the state of Tennessee, Commissioner Stuart McCoy.
Well, good morning, everybody, or actually good afternoon. I'm on Central Time. As Clay said, I'm Stuart McWhorter, and I am early in this job, but I've gotten up to a pretty quick speed on what's going on around the state. Like Clay said, this is my 3rd visit to this part of the state in over about a 7-week period of time. So it's always great to be back in Northeast Tennessee. We're scheduled to be here. You all know the news about First Lady, and he sends his regards. And as Clay said, you know, he is where he needs to be. But he also told me, he said, Stuart, you know, go represent me, represent the state, because the stuff that we're doing is important, and I want the people of Tennessee to know that it still is important to me and to what we're doing. So I'm thankful to be in that position to represent the governor. And by the way, you know, these announcements are always great. You know, to represent the governor, he's a former business owner. You know, he knows what it takes for businesses to be successful. And as you all know, he's very focused on rural Tennessee, and this is a great example, a great win, not only for Tennessee, but for this community. And on behalf of Governor Lee, it is my pleasure to announce Simcoe's expansion to this community and to this county. 86 new jobs, $13.1 million investment, the company's first move out of the state of Pennsylvania, which is a significant commitment that they've made. And as a Tier 4 at-risk community, Hawkins County, this greatly impacts this community. I mean, you know, we have the pleasure, my former Commissioner of Economic Development, Bobby Rolfe, had the pleasure over the last several years to make some significant announcements, but I'll just tell you, this one is one that we have been excited about. I know our department's been excited about for weeks, months, and in some cases years. Okay, this is really important for Tennessee. So we're excited to be part of that. Under the governor's, just for what it's worth, under the governor's leadership, rural Tennessee's landed over 175 projects, 29,000 jobs, and over $15 billion of capital investment. So there's good things happening in rural Tennessee. But why Hawkins County? Why Tennessee? Well, ideal business climate for growth is right here. We're unmatched with some of the lowest state and local taxes paid per capita across the country. But locally, the workforce that's here and the workforce eligible is significant. You all know this, but we have our TCATs, we have our community colleges, we've got ETSU all within a pretty close proximity of this location, and that is something a lot of communities can't say. And there's something significant there. So trust in the workforce and trust in those that are eligible, the future workforce. And as we've said, this is Simcoe's move here is getting them closer to a consumer base that's critical to their growth. So, again, thank you, Simcoe, for your investment in this community and in Tennessee. So before I close, I do want I want to thank a few people. I just had the opportunity to meet John Bean, chairman of Simcoe. Just met Beth Christ, CEO and president of Simcoe, Pennsylvania, and also met Frank Freeman, who's the COO and president of Simcoe, Tennessee. Thank you all for being here and your commitment to this community. Obviously want to thank Clay Walker, CEO of Networks, Sullivan Regional Partnership, State Senator Frank Nicely, State Representative Gary Hicks, who's here. We can't do the work that we do with the department without our support with our General Assembly and our local representatives. And Representative Hicks and I actually worked a lot together when I was the commissioner of F&A previous to this. TVA is a big partner of ours, so I want to thank John Bradley and the TVA team. And then lastly, the Tennessee Economic Development, Community Development team, Northeast Regional team, our secret weapon and everything we do, Lynn Tully, who is our project manager, and to Nathan Woods, who works with this regional team and with Lynn. So thank you both for the hard work that you've provided in this effort.
I just want to introduce the leadership team to this great company that we are we are so happy to welcome to where Tennessee begins its business day. We have with us the chairman of the board, John Bean. We also have the Simcoe CO, Beth Christ, as Congresswoman pointed out. We have Simcoe, Tennessee President and COO, Frank Freeman, and the plant manager, Andy Willis, is here as well. So I guess I'd like for any remarks, starting with John, and then just follow up with...
Good afternoon. My name is John Bean. I have the privilege of being the chairman of Simcoe Group, which is the holding company for both Simcoe Inc., Beth's company in Pennsylvania, and Simcoe, Tennessee. I don't know about you, but where I live, we need the rain, so we're certainly happy to have it. Part of my purpose, the reason that they brought me here today, was to thank the governor and cabinet, to thank the Tennessee Valley Authority, to thank the Regional Development Authority, and to thank the local officials that have helped us make this project possible. That thanks comes from the board of Simcoe. We have one of our directors, a number of our directors here with us today. It comes from our employees, and we're privileged to have a number of our employees here today, and from our shareholders. Simcoe was founded 70 years ago in a community of 1,400 people that was surrounded by coal mines. After the war, those mines closed. The butcher, baker, candlestick maker in our community, Sykesville, saw that our community would close too. So, in a very unique way, they raised $25,000 and invested that money in a technology that no one understood, but they had the promise of having jobs. The purpose of those founding directors, and I'm privileged to say my father was one of those directors, was to provide jobs in the community and economic security in the community. When we look back, we have now almost 200 jobs in our community, and our private foundation is giving away over $150,000 in our community to support local charities that directly benefit our employees and benefit the community. The first speaker here today invoked scripture and invoked a blessing on us. It's really quite the opposite. We are blessed by you. First, by your presence here today and by your support. And we certainly are blessed by our eternal Father, by his guiding hand in our company and in our lives. I arrived too late to meet many people here. I went by the same tobacco warehouse in Greenville 4 times. What can I tell you? I had a number of sheriff's cars following me, so I may need support. But I am overwhelmed by the lovely words I've heard here today, by the turnout I've seen here today. And our job at Simcoe, just like our founding director's job 70 years ago, is to have a place in your community and to become, in the words of your congressperson, the best Tennesseans that we could possibly be. Thank you for coming today. Thank you for your support today. Beth?
All right, can you hear me? Okay. Oh my gosh, it's so incredible to be here. I mean, for a while we weren't sure if this was going to happen. It's been a couple years. We looked at a lot of places, and here we are in Surgoinsville. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I'm Beth Price, President and CEO of Simcoe Incorporated, as John said, in Sykesville, Pennsylvania. I've been with Simcoe for 15 years, but in the industry for about 30. So PM is the dominant industry in our area. So most of us grew up with it, so we know all about it. I don't know if you know what we do, but we actually compact parts, press parts at high tonnages into gears or bearings out of iron powder. And I was explaining it earlier, and it is like powder. It's sand. It looks like sand. And we press it. And we can do it very efficiently with very little waste. And we can produce, in the press that'll be here, up to 10,000 pieces in one day of a giant gear. So pretty cool that we can do that. And then after that process, it goes on and gets sintered, baked in an oven, furnace. And that bonds, sinters the particles together, and then it can ship on to the customer at that point, or it can go on to other operations like heat treat, steam treat, machining, things like that. So some of the customers that we support, and most of what we support is all in the industrial customer base. And our largest customer is here today, a whole bunch of you. Hello everywhere. And we make over 100 different part numbers for them, and about 15 million pieces per year. So a lot of parts, a lot of different pieces, and they make transmissions for the lawn and garden industry. And our other customer, I didn't see if Sally's here. I don't know if she's here or not, but Bradmark was to be here today, and we make burner caps for them for gas stoves. But we do a lot of different industries, medical, agricultural, recreational vehicle, industries like that. And again, we have 6,000 different part numbers active all the time for those different industries. So you might wonder how we got to Surgoinsville. John mentioned a little bit. We ran out of space in Sykesville, Pennsylvania, completely out of space. We needed to do that in Pennsylvania, and I said, well, why not go to Tennessee? Our largest customer is there. There's a lot of opportunity in a very small radius in this area for other customers that we can work with. So we started working with some people down here to make it happen. And it was easy for me. I've been coming to Tennessee with these customers for a long time. So personally and professionally, I love this state. I love the people. I love the culture. And honestly, the culture is very similar to our culture in Pennsylvania, which is what I think makes us successful, and which I think will be successful here because of that. Again, without the relationships and the people and working together, we definitely would not be here today. So this didn't come with a lot. I'm trying to get this to work. Sorry. This didn't come with a lot of hard work and a lot of effort. And there's just so many people to thank, and I don't want to forget anybody, but Ms. Harshberg, thank you so much for coming today. All the local government, Lynn, oh my gosh, Lynn, thank you. Lynn and the TVA, so much help. Mary, Ronnie, you're over there. So I don't want to forget anybody, but my team at Simco has been phenomenal. Not just the people in Pennsylvania, but we have in Tennessee now. We have 3 people down here now, getting the plant ready to run. I'm super blessed to have everyone on this team. Again, my customers, everybody that's here, and most of all, God Almighty, who put us in this direction and helped us not to stop, to make us keep going, and here we are. And I just hope that in 1 year from now, everybody comes back here again, and you can see us operating in the plant. And I want you all to grow with us and see the state-of-the-art company we're going to be. And come and see us with our 100 people, 100 employees or more. So next, Frank, who is going to be our president of the
My name is Frank Freeman. I'm actually from Morristown, but grew up spending my summers here in Hawkins County with my grandparents, Uncle George Freeman. Really, this area has a really good place in my heart. And I remember standing on the side of the road with my grandmother when they shut down 11W to bring the reactor up the highway here. I mean, who here was there when that happened? That was one of the biggest events in the area. To bring that here, to start the nuclear power plant. And it's kind of surreal for me here today to be standing in the same industrial park, starting a new business, bringing new jobs to the area. I'm the newest member of the Simco family. I came from a background with Simco's largest customer, and I'm really proud to be a part of this group here. John, Beth, thank you very much for this opportunity. I think this is going to be an amazing opportunity for the community here. I'd like to thank Rebecca Baker and Larry Elkins for your help. Lynn Colley, thank you for everything that you've done to help get this off the ground. This has been a kind of a labor of love for, 3 years now at least? We've been working on this project and finally found this building thanks to Robbie Foshi Bragdon. Where are you? They ride horses here every weekend and just happened to notice that the building was empty. So we came up here, took a look, and this was a perfect spot for us to be. So we really want to be out in the community, and I personally like to get involved as much as I can. So I look forward to working with everyone here, and thank you very much. I won't belabor the program here, but I really appreciate everybody's attendance today. Thank you.
Ready? Yep. All right. Put those shovels in that ground. Let's go. Look at that. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Push them down. Push them down. Go ahead. You gotta toss them. You gotta break that ground and toss it. Oh my God. All right, there you go. Woo! Good job.
My name is Jeff Vogel. I'm the editor of the Rogersville Review.
Yes.
I just had a couple of quick questions.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a timeline for getting everything up and running?
We hope to be up and running sometime between May and July of next year. It just depends on materials and if we can get everything in on time. So.
I noticed the floor's not in yet. You got a long way to go, I guess.
Well, we've got a couple of pits already dug. I don't know if you saw we've got a rendering here with the floor plan.
Yeah.
But we have the equipment. It's ready to come down as soon as we get the floor in and get space here. So
Okay.
yeah, the contractor's moving right along. Actually,
Okay.
we've done a lot over the past I guess month and a half or so.
How will people know how to apply?
Well, as soon as we get close to a point where we'll be pulling the trigger with that, we will notify the community through the newspaper, obviously through you guys. We'll be working with the technical school. We've already started working with Charles at the technical school and any other outlet that we can utilize.
What kind of skills are you looking for in your new employees?
Well, some technical skills, obviously. The floor jobs are, they're typical manufacturing. We will have some high-skilled jobs for die setters, that type of thing. Some office personnel, quality control folks. You'll definitely need to be tapping into the community for that as well.
And can you tell me about ballpark, what kind of salary these jobs are paying?
16 an hour for regular.
Okay,
Yeah.
starting at 16?
Yep.
Okay. And I imagine the higher skilled guys,
Yes.
you have to pay a little bit better.
Obviously, yes.
Okay, all
As
right.
we move up.
Well, I guess that's all I was going to ask you. May, and that's 80 new.
Well, we've committed to 86 jobs. Based on the level of business that we currently have, I think we'll far exceed that in the next 3 years.
That's what I was going to ask you. Who are your biggest customers in this area?
The biggest customer in this area is Tough Torque in Morristown.
What is it called?
Tough Torque. It's a transmission manufacturer. Matter of fact, right there.
Okay.
We make there's about 108 different parts that we manufacture for them.
Okay, like gears, casing, things like that?
It's gears, levers, bushings, lots of gears.
Yeah. I noticed there's a part that holds the blades that looks like compressed metal.
There
Things like
are
that.
a lot of components like that that are in the lawn and garden. So yeah,
Okay.
the OEMs are typically buying those parts themselves. But TTC is our largest customer. We do have a project going on with John Deere right
okay.
now.
That's cool.
So that will be one of the first projects to come in.
Yeah.
That is for a cotton picker.
Ah,
So
okay.
yeah.
To get some cotton picking jobs in here.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, is there, and you talked about, or somebody talked about, there's other businesses in the region that you hope to attract?
Yes.
You want to talk about those?
Well, as a matter of fact, we're working with one of our partners in Pennsylvania to relocate his heat treat operation right next door.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're in the process of getting that all taken care of, and then he'll make his own announcement
Okay. Yeah,
with the
they had
community
said
here.
There was going to be kind of a sister company coming
Yes.
in, so that's
Yeah.
good news.
Yeah, it's
All
very
right,
good news.
To be continued. Hopefully, it won't take as long.
So Freeman,
Yes.
Charlie Freeman's your uncle.
Charlie Freeman is my uncle, yes.
Oh my goodness.
Charlie Freeman and I started, I'm Gary Hicks, I'm set for here. Yeah, Charlie and I, when we built this building, you wouldn't believe the flack we took because the county actually stepped in and paid the note on it.
Yep.
So
I remember hearing that.
To finally see somebody in this building makes me want to jump up
Yeah.
and down. And
Yeah, we were there.
I would love to have had him here today, but he is just not.
Yeah,
He's not.
This has been 14 years.
Yep,
Yeah.
it has been. It's been a long 14 years.
Yeah, I'm glad to see something happening.
I am too.
Something happening.
I am too.
So.
So it is.